So till now what we have covered, we have understood the three processes: absorption, stimulated emission and stimulated spontaneous emission. So let us draw all three processes in one diagram. So this is energy level E1 and this is energy level E2, and it is clear from the diagram that energy level E2 is greater than energy level E1, which means this is higher energy level and this is lower energy level. So suppose the number of electrons present in E1 level is N1 and the number of electrons present in E2 level is N2. So I taught you how to write three equations regarding three processes. So absorption means the energy. So we have a external machinery which is providing photons, and the energy of these photons is exactly equal to the energy difference between two energy levels. So electrons present in lower energy level will absorb a photon and jump to higher energy level. This process is called stimulated absorption. So rate of stimulated absorption is equals to, since it is stimulated means B, absorption means going from 1 to 2, number of electrons we will take N1, and it is stimulated, so we are using external agency for this process. So we have to consider the energy density of this external machinery. So external energy or energy density of this external machinery is represented by U mu. Similarly, natural emission or spontaneous emission. So rate of spontaneous emission is equals to, spontaneous means A, emissions mean 2, 1 and N2. And the third process is electron jumping to low energy level after absorbing a photon, hence giving out 2 photons. So rate of equation of stimulated emission is, stimulated means B, emission means 2, 1 and 2 U mu. Now at the thermal equilibrium, which means that the temperature is constant. At thermal equilibrium, the total absorption, that is the electron is going from down to high energy level, is equals to emission. So absorption means stimulated absorption, but emission is combined of two processes, stimulated emission plus spontaneous emission. So putting the values from here, it means B12 N1 U mu is equals to B21 N2 U mu plus A21 N2. So finding the value of this function from here. So this will be just take this factor to this side, take U common and put it in the denominator. Now we want to understand that how these processes must be controlled from external side, how we can control these processes from the external side, that the maximum light that we obtain is laser light. So in short, we want to know the condition for which maximum light will be laser light. So in order to understand that, what we are calculating ratio. Which ratio? Ratio of rate of spontaneous emission and rate of stimulated emission. So this means A21 N2, this means B21 N2 U mu. Again A21 N2 B21 N2, N2 से N2 cancel, U mu. So putting the value of U from this equation, we get So we are getting B12 B21 N1 by N2 minus B21 by B21 N2 by N2. So this means 1. Now we will put a little assumption. What is the assumption? Assumption is that B12 is nearly equals to B21. Therefore this becomes, now we will use a different law. So we will say according to Boltzmann law. Now what is Boltzmann law? The Boltzmann law is a relation between number of electrons in an energy level E1. It means it relates the number of electrons present to the energy of the level in which they are present. Again I am repeating, Boltzmann law establishes a relation between number of electrons or number of atoms, number of electrons present in a level and the energy of that level. So what is the basic general equation? General equation is like this. Number of electrons in an energy level E n is proportional to exponential minus E upon k T. So this k is Boltzmann constant. The value of k is 1.38 10 raised to the power minus 23 joule per Kelvin. It means according to the unit, joules per Kelvin means temperature we have to put in Kelvin and energy we have to put in joules. Then only the equation will be dimensionless. Then only the exponential power will be dimensionless. Now writing this equation for N1 level. So for N1 the equation becomes, in place of energy E1 will come, and in place of, in equation of N2 E2 will come. So this means N1 by N2 is equals to exponential minus E1 by KT plus E2 by KT. Exponential taking KT common, E2 minus E1. Now what is E2 minus E1? E2 minus E1 is h mu. E2 minus E1 is h mu. So this becomes E h mu by KT. So in short, rate of spontaneous emission upon rate of stimulated emission is equals to N1 upon N2 minus 1, or it is equals to E h mu by KT minus 1. Now in order to have understanding about what factors that we should control to have a good amount of laser light, we know that in fact that spontaneous emission is producing normal light, and stimulated emission, the process of stimulated emission produces laser light. Therefore, in order to have laser light, stimulated emission should be very greater than spontaneous emission. It means rate of stimulated emission should be very greater than spontaneous emission. It means rate of spontaneous emission upon rate of stimulated emission should be very less than 1. Should be very less than 1, or you can say that rate of spontaneous stimulated emission upon spontaneous emission should be very greater than 1. So in order to satisfy this condition, we will find two conditions from these equations. So first of all, putting the condition, this one should be very less than 1. If spontaneous in numerator, you have to put very less than 1. If stimulated is in the numerator, then you have to put very greater than 1. It means it should be very less than 1. So putting N1 upon N2 minus 1, very less than 1. So the number of atoms in second energy level should always be very very higher than number of atoms in lower energy level. So this property is called population inversion. This is known as population inversion. So putting the same condition, this condition for this relation we get E h mu by kt minus 1 should be very very less than 1. E h mu by kt should be very very less than 2. This is only satisfied when so these are the two conditions. These are the two conditions when your stimulated process will dominate the spontaneous process. Naturally, when your stimulated process will dominate your spontaneous process, laser light, the production of laser light will dominate the production of normal light, and hence the majority of light that you will collect from your apparatus will be laser light.